to the Unknown Fitness Podcast. This is episode number 18.
18, yes.
So we'll do less fucking, I should leave that there. We'll do less fucking talk about MMA today. We're just going to do a little bit of personal shit, I think, today.
Yeah.
Talk about what's going on, because it's been it's been a hot minute. And I've got some Mondays going on. I just got back from a trip to Krakow in Poland.
Awesome.
Where I went for 5 days by myself for a much needed break from work, which was nice, bit of a brain reset. Bloody lovely, really lovely city.
I've never been there.
Yeah, really, very popular with Brits.
Yeah,
for sure. You go everywhere and you see British people. It's pretty common.
A lot of places like that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stag do trip as well.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't think of anything worse than going on one of those stag trips.
Nope.
But anyway, so keeping it gym related, I went to a gym while I was there. It was a bitch to find. The main train station there is also doubled up as a shopping centre, like a massive shopping centre.
Yeah, that's quite standard though.
Yeah, it's merged together.
Yeah.
And it was right by my hostel. I was in a room with 11 other people.
That's the bit I couldn't handle.
Yeah. It's actually not that bad. You do get some people that are a bit annoying. Bring earplugs. That's my biggest piece of advice. Because you never know who's going to up in your room and who's going to snore really fucking loud. I had one dude literally it was the weirdest thing I've ever heard. He snored literally like that. Went on for hours.
Just a drone.
Just droning, dude. I was like, is this dude like moaning because he's in pain? Because that's what it sounded
Yeah.
like. I was like generally concerned for him. But I was like fucking laughing because I didn't give a fuck because I knew I had earplugs. I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, everyone else in the room, I was like, I feel so bad for you. But like, lesson learned. I learned that from last time doing some solo traveling. Bring fucking earplugs. You do not know who's going to be in your room. Anyway, it was a bit of a bitch to find the gym initially because you had to go into the car park of the shopping centre, and it was in the entrance to it was in the car park.
Yeah.
It's just barely any signage. Not like go this way. I just had to kind of explore. Found it in the end. It was a pretty decent gym. The plates were a bit weird. They weren't like a brand I'd never seen before. But the main thing, my main takeaway was it's just fucking messy.
Yeah.
The dumbbell rack was all out of order. That was so triggering. Like, unbelievable. You'd have like 37.5s versus next to 12s and then 10s next to 25s. I was like, there was 2 or 3 staff members by reception doing fuck all.
Yeah.
Could be tidying up the gym. There was tons of trainers around not doing anything, just chatting.
Was it like a proper old school spit and sawdust gym? Or was it?
No. Yeah. A chain.
Yeah, okay.
Chain gym.
Okay.
Yeah, a chain gym. So it's not like they clearly don't have a level of standard.
Yeah.
Or the staff just don't give a fuck. Some of it was okay, but generally speaking, like the weighted areas were just so bad. Like if I left our gym the same way, I get fucking fired. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd be like dragged into the office for a stern talking to type deal. I imagine they tidy up when management's around or whatever. But like, what also was weird was there was no hamstring machine.
Okay.
Which I thought no pro leg curl and no standard leg curl. I couldn't find one.
No, that's a pretty standard machine.
Yeah, how weird is it, right? Like, I was just like, because I needed to do some hamstring work. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I just left it in the end. I was only really there to bench and do some other stuff, but I was just like, it was really, really strange. The rest of the gym was pretty good. I can't lie. They had some good stuff there, some interesting pieces of equipment and stuff, and I had a little bit of a look around. But it was just the messiness of it. Well, I haven't seen a gym that bad in quite a long time. Even like a pure gym, I feel like I'm better than that.
I've never been to a pure gym, so I can't really comment on that. Back in the day, I've trained in some gyms that were like proper old school lifters gyms.
Yeah, I love
that. They had real character. And they were a mess, but then like most of the weights also looked like someone built them in their back garden.
Yeah,
so it kind of fits.
Sense of step. You don't expect that from a chain.
But if it's a chain and it's aimed at the general public, like there's a standard, because let's be fair, you're getting the general.
You have to like assemble everything you need from like various parts of the gym.
And I think as well is like people don't necessarily want to go to the gym and think. And what I mean by that is like people could be time for they're nipping in their lunch break. It's like they might be working up the rack 7.5, 10, 12.5, 15. It's like they don't want to have to go and look for the 15 because it's over between the 30s and whatever. I like it. So it should all just be really simple and intuitive to use. So I think, when you're appealing to the general public, then like you have to be clean and tidy. It's as simple as that. That being said, if I owned my own gym, then I would probably just keep it all clean and tidy and simple.
Yeah,
It's just easier to
and
manage.
it's just nicer to look at.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
More aesthetic, isn't it? Like, I'd much rather that. But yeah, I mean, that was okay. Then I went to a bouldering gym as well while I was there. That was all right. Although I don't like it when, so their grading system was like, they just had colors of difficulty. So there's no numbered grades, which I don't like.
okay.
So I like to know the grade of what it is.
The number
Like,
grade, I guess, is like a universal thing.
yeah, there's tons of different grading systems, but most bouldering gyms either have the French grading system, which is like 6A, 6A plus, 6B, 6B plus, 6C, 6B plus, 7A, 7A plus, and so on and so on and so on all the way to, well, no gym is ever going to have 9A, but like that's all just a V1, V2, V3, V4.
Yep.
Most gyms are like that. There was none of that, so it's just like color of difficulty.
Right.
I could generally estimate the grade because I know what grade I climb, roughly what things are.
Yep.
But like, I'd like to know what I climb. I'd like to be able to go up to a problem and say, okay, that's this. I'm going to try and give that a go.
Yeah, understanding.
The idea behind it, I think, is meant to make you think, oh, you might try something you wouldn't normally try, because you're not like, you don't see V10 and you're like, oh fuck, I can't climb that.
You instantly eliminate
So
yourself.
then again, it's still, that doesn't really apply.
So what did they kind of do? Almost just have like a kind of
Color order, so like
Yeah.
it goes from green all the way up to black, and there's like 10 different colors. So I basically just worked my way through the colors until I found what I couldn't do.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm at my limit here. I know I'm going to do this color. So in that respect, then it doesn't work, because you know, well, if it's
Doesn't
black,
sit-
I'm
yeah,
not going to be able to
I
do it.
can't-
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do any of the blacks. So then what would else?
it's very similar. Like
Yeah.
I've done a lot like downhill mountain biking over the years, and again,
Oh yeah, like
you know,
skiing as the same thing. Yeah, colored like blackberries,
like
whatever.
that, and
The same.
people instantly eliminate themselves.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a good reason you work your way.
Yeah.
I got my way through like maybe 70-80% of the cars. I was like, okay, and I was only there to just kind of tie myself over and like give myself something to do, like whatever. It was all right.
Yeah.
But the main climbing thing I had recently, because I finally climbed my fucking boulder, which I'm so fucking happy about. I wanted to get it done before I went on holiday, because I knew it would just be bugging me otherwise. And I made the most of that one day of dry weather we had before I went away. Well, really was so fucking annoying. I literally got out of work at 2 and I was like, I'm going straight there. Picked up my mate to come with me. It started raining as soon as I left the fucking building.
Of course.
As soon as I left the building, it started raining. And it was like literally a flash flood for like 20 minutes. It poured it down. I was so pissed off. Luckily, it stopped quite quickly. And then I had to like dry a lot of the boulder out. I just got chalk and just fucking like just dried out as much as I could. Luckily, it stopped. The sun came out and it dried up pretty well, and it was fine. It just delayed me for like 45 minutes. I've lost my chalk brush, so I didn't have that to use. It was like everything was kind of stacked to get me that day. It was just like really not the day. And I think I put in maybe 8-9 attempts, and on the last attempt, I could say it in the video, the clip of me doing it, like, this is my last attempt of the day. And it just clicked and all came together. It was like one last little method that I was going to try. And it's one of those things that's funny now, where it's like, now I know the method. Pretty fucking straightforward.
You're there.
Just on fucking. I honestly feel like as long as I'm like dialed in and I'm like strength wise and I know where I'm at, method wise, there's no way I could never not do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird how that works sometimes.
It's like that though. There's so many things. It's but like as soon as someone cracks something,
Yeah.
as soon as you crack yourself,
yeah.
that's it. Everyone can do it. See you fighting. One person's been undefeated, they get defeated, and then that's it.
You find the code of how to the blueprint.
I don't know. Roger Bannister ran 4 minute mile, and then everyone did.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah. So it was one of those things. But yeah, it was such a good feeling, because I swear it was like 4 months of work, and then like waiting for the weather to be right, and having like a month, 5-6 week periods not being able to do it. I put 5 sessions in on it, maybe 35-40 attempts in on it. You know, it was a lot of fucking work. I found the place. I put in all the work. It's on the UK Climbing website. I've made it public.
Can grade it.
I've made it public. I've graded it. It's now a public thing, and people can now see it on the map if they ever want to do it. There's 3 other climbs at the place to do, because it's like it's got different faces, that thing, because it's like a giant limestone kiln or like kiln. So there's other projects on it that I've still got to do, but like getting that first one done was just like such a fucking risk.
Do you get to name them as well?
Yeah, I've named it Taxi Climber, basically because I'm a massive film dude. So I've named them all after film related. So Taxi
Driver.
Taxi
Yeah.
So I'm naming them all after movies and just changing it to something climbing related.
Brilliant.
Because then there's also because that's my second favorite movie of all time. So I'm like leaving my own little like
First.
Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, I'm a Lord of the Rings guy.
I'm
Yeah, I grew up on that shit. Yeah, it would never change. I've got a Lord of the Rings tattoo on my leg. Yeah, so we want to make this a film podcast. I'm more than happy. As soon as you open that door, it's never going to shut.
Let's spend all day talking.
But yeah, literally. So yes, I can name all of them, which is great. And that's what's the really fun thing about doing the stuff outdoors is you can find these projects, name the projects, crack the projects. It makes the process so much more fun. The only annoying thing recently is I did pick up a finger injury.
Yeah.
So I was indoor climbing. I had my finger in a pocket. I sort of brought my right hand over and it just pulled, and it's this finger here. So it's like a pulley injury. So it's when it goes backwards now, like this way, that's when I feel it. Yeah. So it's like, if I grip really tight, I actually think benching is fun. I didn't bench for a year, and I think the actual gripping so hard of a barbell it's actually really put a lot of pressure on that area of the joint. So now I'm in like a bit of a weird climbing phase right now where I'm trying to accommodate and do different things. It's kind of forced me into a position where I actually can now work on other weaknesses and stuff and make my training a little bit more focused.
Yeah.
I basically, because I can now put myself in a position actually in a weird way to do stuff I've been putting off for a while because of other things. So in a weird way, it's actually been quite good because now I can put more work into my endurance. I can do direct finger training because that position doesn't hurt at all. So I can now train my fingers, which I've wanted to do for ages, directly. So I put that off last year because of my tennis elbow. So now that actually forces me into this situation where I can actually train them properly. They're not going to get any weaker. And now I can put myself in really controlled environments that don't aggravate it, but I can still make progress and actually probably improve areas that I wouldn't otherwise improve. So in some weird fucked up way, it's kind of like, and I think that's something that other people can take away, to be honest, is that like, even if you have an injury, if you try and give yourself the every cloud approach, right?
Yep.
It's like, it might actually put you in a position to like, it's weird. Like, I think, was it, Matt Fraser, the cross, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he get like, he got fucked from Olympic lift.
Yeah, he did.
And then
he moved on
to end up in CrossFit because of it. And now he's the greatest.
Because he had that Olympic lifting background.
The foundation, exactly. So like, sometimes I think some of the best things have always come out of the worst scenarios.
Yeah, 100%. There's a few things there. So first of all, going back to what you said about the bench press.
Yeah.
So my hands, I've got a lot of clunky fingers because of breaks to my hand. From back in the day. And whenever I'm doing anything with bar, so you obviously know I do a lot of Olympic stuff. Like,
I love it.
Obviously, sort of benching and deadlift and all of this kind of thing as well. I always go for the thinnest bar. Yeah, because same thing. Because we've got quite a few fat bombers, and it does exactly the same thing. It pulls my fingers. Yeah. So I always use the thin bar. And again, going back to what we were saying earlier about benching, I use suicide grip, so I don't have to grip so much and things like that. So it is just working around those things. Now, silver lining thing, one of the best triathletes I know is somebody that had never done biking for like 20 odd years of their life, got injured running. So they were like, well, I can't just stop, jumped onto a bike to build their endurance back up. And I actually discovered that they were a really, really good cyclist. Yeah. Once they got back into running, started combining the two, and now is actually like, I think that actually graded within like the half Ironman rankings and things like that. Like they found their sport through injury. Yeah. And I've always been exactly the same. It's the same thing. It's like an injury doesn't stop you. It's like I've hurt my foot. Well, I've got my upper body I can work. Yeah. I've hurt my shoulder or my lower body. There's always a
really weird example because I was trying to think right my brain because there's so many I know in my head of people like famous like you know Action Bronson.
Yeah.
The rapper?
Yeah.
He broke his leg. In the kitchen, I think, because he used to be a chef.
The chef, yeah.
Went in the studio, and now, like...
No, he's actually... Yeah.
He always obviously did it before, but that it kind of forced him into a position where he could actually, like... He had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And look at him now. Yeah. So it's just like... It's funny, because I feel like even... this is going to get on tangent, but I feel like even now he's more returned to his shit.
It's come back to the food, isn't it? Yeah.
He's the only food show I actually watch is his stuff, to be fair. But it's just funny how life can really work. That what's that fucking like story about like there's like an old Chinese proverb I swear where it's like the it depends thing where like seizing opportunity out of bad situations. Like how it's like what the fuck I need to find this. Talk for a second. I think
No, but it is absolutely true, and I think there's two ways you can look at any of these sort of things. Is I can sit at home or I can feel sorry for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or I can just face the adversity.
Yeah.
I've got The John Jones toe injury. Remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, the fucking horror.
Yeah.
So I the same Prue fight. What fight was that?
Well, I did a very, very similar injury in training. And basically, I went to wrestle someone to the ground and my toe got caught between two wrestling mats. And as I twisted, it kind of did the same thing way before John Jones. But
maybe you should fight John Jones.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he might have a slight weight advantage.
That's the only thing, but yeah,
that's all he's got. But as a result of it, I had to go into like surgery the next day. I had a pin put in my toe, like literal cast from foot to like halfway up my calf or toe to calf. And they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to go through like physio. You have to go for rehab. You have to learn to get your balance back and all that." And even to this day, like my toe doesn't work properly. I've got no actual movement or strength in it, and I've got very, very little feeling in it.
Got some sick pinions.
If that's it. And my kid thinks it's brilliant because I just jab it with things, and I literally can't feel it. I got stung. I was wearing sliders, and a bee landed on it, and I literally watched it sting my toe.
Right.
I was like, I can't feel what's happening there.
You should kill that bee.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's such a
I was like watching my toe like swell up, and it was like
you throw that bee off. It's like, yeah, it's untrue. I can't feel it.
Can't
fucking will.
It's like the one part of me is superhero, and
so your kryptonite is the rest of your
yeah, exactly. Mess with that one big toe, but
it's your Achilles heel. The rest of the shit.
But the whole thing is like they were kind of like, oh yeah, you'll need to do this and you'll need to have this like build back up. So the first thing I did was talk to my coach at the time, and I got a fight signed for like 3 months later.
Yeah.
Right now I've got a deadline, and 24 hours after I'd had surgery, I've got a video of me in the gym on a static bike, started to build my endurance back up. There's two ways of dealing with it. I can sit at home, I feel sorry for the next 12 weeks, or I can actually spend the next 12 weeks building myself back up to a fight.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally different story. But that fight, my opponent pulled out at the last moment, and they got a guy in from French top team as a last minute opponent change.
Right.
Got to the weigh-ins and almost shit myself because you have Czech Congo in his corner.
What, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, this changes everything. This isn't some local level guy.
It's never when they have, like, it's the cornermen that make a difference.
Yeah.
Actually, they've got them in.
It was ridiculous because obviously at the time I was fighting.
I'm sure Sahabi is
I was fighting at like 65 kilos. So I was obviously tiny, and it was like I just cut weight. And then it's like, Czech Congo. I was like, oh, it's like, that's your training partner. Come on.
I found it though. I got it. So it's
brilliant.
Yeah. So good and bad luck create each other, and it's difficult to foresee their change, right? So a righteous man lived near the border. For no reason, his horse ran off into barbarian territory. Everyone felt sorry for him. His father spoke to him. He said, "Who knows if that won't bring you good luck?" Several months later, his horse came back with a group of barbarian horses. Everyone congratulated him. His father spoke to him. He said, "Who knows if that won't bring you bad luck?" Now his house is rich in horses, and the son, mounted with joy, loved riding. He fell and broke his leg. Everyone felt sorry for him. His father spoke to him and said, "Who knows if that won't bring you good luck?" 1 year later, the barbarians invaded across the border. Adult males strung up by their bows and went into battle. 9 out of 10 border residents were killed, except for the son because of his broken leg. Father and son were both protected and survived. So it's like that weird kind of like what that kind of can put you in a position, which
it is. It's just this whole play of events. It's like
you never know how
you simply don't know. Like we spent a lot of time in the past talking about Brian Johnson. You could spend $2 million a year doing whatever you want to extend your life, but you could walk out of it.
So I was about to say I'd love it if you got hit by a car, but I didn't mean that.
I mean, that's just cruel, Callum. It's just that.
That's all. I'm not wishing death on anyone. That's right. But like, for the sake of irony, right? Just for the sake of irony, like, because that really, honestly, because that's such a big thing.
Yeah,
accidental things just going completely fucking wrong. You really can't eradicate everything. That you could be the fittest athlete on earth, but you could still pull your back in the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can be incredible shape. It happens.
Yeah,
it happens sometimes.
There's just so many things that we have no control over.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, whether it be accidental, whether it be disease, whatever it might be. But and again, in all of these situations, there's always, I don't want to say there's always an opposite direction you could take, because there isn't. But like you say, a hand injury, it's like you could write yourself off, or you could just turn this into something else.
Yes, I mean, there's no way I'm ever just going to stop climbing. So that if anything, I'm just going, okay, what can I do? What can I not do?
Yeah, how
can I not activate and make it worse?
Myself today.
Yeah. I've got one normal climbing session left a day when I'm going to try and not make it worse. But starting next week, I'm just going to be a bit more like basically put myself in training mode and just do and prep myself as much as I can for when I can get back up.
But I mean, again, like when I was kind of like, when I used to do a lot of BJJ, I would, if I got injured and things like that, it's like, it's just technique now. Let's just get good.
Yeah.
Don't need to spar hard.
Yeah.
And so many times you'd see the improvement. That's really something 50, 100, 200 times, whatever it might be. It's, you've got that then. It's, maybe that's what Dustin used to go away and do is like drill jumping guillotines. Like
that's been like the 12-week camp jumping guillotine.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you turn a weakness into a superpower.
Someone said to me with this the other day. It was actually like, but yeah, we'll do the video for today. I reckon. Yeah, that's how the fight's gonna go.
Yeah,
pull shorts, jump,
guillotine,
block. yeah, it literally did.
That sounds about right.
Right, so we're going to look at some what we call functional patterns today. Okay,
already sounds interesting.
This is a very famous guy in the industry. This is a short, so it's going to come up straight away when it loads. So, what do you think of? Let me know what you think of these exercises. Training in relation to your body. The main defining functions of humans are standing, walking, running, and throwing, apparently.
Don't do much, sorry.
Master those functions and make them symmetrical. They will open the gateway to solving many of the problems holding you back in this life. So this guy, functional patterns is a very big company, right?
Man.
Yeah, so they're a very big company. This guy, Hanordi, I can't remember his surname. I think he's a quack person.
Yeah.
A bit of a quack. I think he's a bit mental, to be honest. I think he's a bit of an arrogant prick, personally. From a lot of the stories that you get from people. I mean, he's a lot of his movement styles you see. Yeah, clearly he's like sorted his back out.
But he's still got the twist.
He's still got
it's just good lighting.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's the first exercise.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Like, when you talk about standing, walking, running, and throwing, how is any of what you just did in the first bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we've got there is he's bringing a dumbbell up the side,
pulling a cable,
and I'm pulling a cable.
What is that doing? Like,
I mean, there was a bit on there about symmetry, which that isn't.
Yeah, everyone's asymmetrical.
Yeah,
that's not an issue. Like, everyone is.
Yeah,
Usain Bolt has scoliosis.
Yeah.
Like, and he's the fastest man.
Fastest.
It's not a fucking issue. Like, no. It's not a big an issue picking weight. The standing, walking, like, throwing, and there's something else. What about lifting?
Yeah, just generally lifting. So
squatting, hinging, pushing, pulling. What the fuck is like?
If you look at skills that we forget over time, and they talk about squatting. Look at children when they first start to learn to walk. Yeah, one of the things that they'll do is actually drop into squat, and they will sit in a perfect squat.
Deep squat,
like,
yeah.
All day.
Everyone wants a baby deep squat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and like
baby turkins.
It's these core movements that we obviously forget over time, and as we get older, because we don't necessarily need them, because look at us, we're sat on a chair, we don't need to sit in a squat. However, if you spend a lot of time in less developed countries, you will actually see a lot of people sitting around in really deep squats.
Things
like that.
Yeah, literally.
But I think, like you say, squatting is a massive one. Throwing wouldn't even come into the conversation as one core movement.
Unless you're doing it for sport, when are you throwing shit?
Yeah,
when are you throwing shit? Like, who the fuck goes around throwing?
Dog? Not throw your shot. You've got to throw them, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be fair. We've adapted to be lazy with that now. Anyway, if you've got mechanisms in place,
the posture thing has more or less been like proved now, more or less, that posture is not nearly as big a deal as people make it out to be.
No,
everyone is born with different postures, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Your posture is not a determinant of whether you're going to have pain or not.
No,
it just isn't. Like, it honestly just isn't.
I think like there's so much things that you see all these things as well, like about like sitting in a chair for 7 hours a day is as bad as smoking, and it's going to take this much. It really isn't.
No.
Like it simply is not. Especially if you can balance that with a healthy life.
I was about doing this all day is really bad for your fucking like posture. It just fucking isn't though. Like
No.
it literally isn't.
No. I mean, like you can argue that if somebody is counteracting that with exercise and a generally healthy lifestyle in general, I'll use myself as an example. I spend a lot of time every day, like most people, sat at a desk. Even if like working in a gym, you sit at your desk. That quite a lot of the day and thing. And
we shouldn't be.
You should actually do it with.
I am actually doing important work.
You should be tidying up the gym.
Yeah.
But most people, like we sit down to eat, we sit down to watch TV. All of these things, we spend a lot of time quite stationary. Like, I don't feel that I have any issues with like my form or my functionality or any of that because I maintain a healthy life outside of those things.
Yeah.
I spend very, very little time actually on kind of prehab, and I've got no rehab.
Ridiculous. Prehab makes no sense.
No, exactly.
Lifting is preparing for injury. Just doing more strength with prehab.
I tell so many runners this, that you need to, especially trail runners, is like to go to the weight room, to go and get strong. You don't need to be a bodybuilder. You don't need to be a powerlifter. However, prepare your body. Yeah. If you've got like people like, your knees or your hips and all of this kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, but I can like multiple squat almost 2 times my own body weight.
Yeah.
Multiple rep squat. It's I can deadlift this. I can do whatever. It's like I'm strong.
Yeah.
And my knees are just fine because I look after them in that sense. It's preparing me for something else. And I think that's probably a bigger issue for people. Just to be strong.
Just keep it fucking simple.
The whole functional fitness thing, I get it. It's a really cool buzzword and all of that.
But lifting is functional. The functional fitness is such a buzzword. Like it's like lifting generally is all functional. How's doing a squat not functional fitness?
No.
How doing a heavy barbell? It's you're sitting down and standing back up. How's that not?
CrossFit have done a really, really good job of marketing that term, and it's got obviously kind of like sort of seeped its way into loads of other things. Functional,
what do you mean?
So I do the way I work out. I'm not a CrossFitter, but I do take a lot of things from them. I do a lot of Metcons and I do a lot of Olympic lifting. And let's be fair, CrossFit stole Olympic lifting from Olympic lifting.
Well, yeah,
obviously. So a snatch, for example, there's elements of that are functional. Like I go into a deep squat and I'm able to lift over my own head and all of this kind of thing. And it makes me explosive and it makes me strong. However, the movement in its entirety is a movement that I will never use in real life.
Yeah. For me personally, like Olympic lifting, I think it's hard and it's a lot of coordination involved. I think for a lot of people, it's probably unnecessary. They would probably just break it down into individual parts and just do like hand clean.
Where I find like Olympic lifting really good for me is if I'm training for like an obstacle course and things like that, and my explosiveness and being strong in my explosiveness. Sticking with the snatch, if I had to put something on the top shelf, I'm not snatching it up there. Like, do you know what? It's just ridiculous. It's not a functional real life movement. Can you just put that mug up there?
The funniest thing ever. Oh my god! I put the cereal.
I feel like that's a video that I need to make. It's like functional lifting in real life.
Lifting in real life, 100%. But it's funny we're talking about like because I have quite like rounded shoulders. And a lot of people say it's because I got a really strong chest and like a weak back, right?
Yeah.
My back is my strongest fucking thing. Like it's literally like compared to my body weight, I don't think I can. Like body weight proportionally is probably what I can lift the most with anything. Climbing or whatever. Like I can almost match people that are 10, 15 kilos heavier than me on back exercises just because my back's so fucking strong. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be pinned back the whole time. And that my chest is overly skinny in comparison. It's ridiculous.
I've got like a huge imbalance in my shoulders. So first of all, if you look at me straight on, and I don't have a top, and one of my shoulders sits slightly lower than the other.
Right.
And if I was training topless or if I had a tight top on and I was doing pull-ups, especially chins, you can see that my shoulders both rotate slightly different to each other.
Right.
And the reason being is that I spent so long in fighting gyms with my left hand forward in my kind of fight stance, and it's just created a slight difference in shape there, difference in movement.
It made no difference.
It's made zero difference to my strength. I've got no injury there.
Ridiculous.
And I've had this sometimes, I need to go see a physio, you need to get that sorted out. Or do you think it'd be really good if you start? It's like, no, because I'm not messing with it. and I have zero issues with it.
Yeah.
So why would I change that
Yeah.
for something that is literally millimeters out?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense. And this goes back to what you said just now about prehab. Yeah, it's like there is no prehab to be done there.
Yeah.
Because my shoulder is really, really strong. My pull-ups, where you can notice it the most, are really, really strong. I can do weighted pull-ups for reps, no problem. I can do high pull-ups, I can do muscle-ups, I can do all of these movements, and I've got zero issues. So there's nothing there as far as concerned.
There's really
No.
not any pre-existing body type or kind of spinal position, shoulder position that's going to be indicative of pain at all. There is no, like, it goes back to like the fact that like the amount of disc degeneration in people as they get older is honestly like 80% have some level of disc degeneration.
Yeah.
It's not a predictor of pain.
No.
Everyone has it at some point.
Yeah.
So it's like to say that like disc degeneration is a massive threat. It really isn't as big of a threat as people want it to be. I think we should watch this because I just read this title. This is Deadlifts of Fake Strength, and I just want to laugh at whatever the fuck he is. I hope it's got captions.
It's a fake strength.
I hope it's got captions and see whatever the hell this guys are yapping on about. Hopefully it's got subtitles. Made a video breaking down why deadlifts are garbage and that sprinting is the actual king of all exercise. Here's what the creator had to say. Notice how they complain about us using big words and breaking things down, while the present argument that deadlifts are good for the average person. If deadlifts were good for the average person and they did what everyone thinks they do, we'd all be running like you say. Are you mental? Are you fucking mental? Right? No. Oh, fuck off. Are you fucking mental? You have lost your fucking mind. Do you know what Usain Bolt does in the fucking gym? Leg extensions. I fucking see it. You have lost your... Do you know how she got better at that? Probably just by doing it.
By doing it.
By fucking doing it.
Over and over again.
Strength is specific. You're a fucking clown. Idiot. Like... Yeah, there's one really like... Olympic bronze medalist who actually uses these guys for his training. But it's just out fucking rate. There's another one actually spoiled. Whatever. I just wanted to see whatever the hell this was. This is human biomechanics specialist. I just want to see what exercises they end up doing. What is that? Oh, why all these dudes got their shirts off? What are you do? Like, the thing is, what's funny about this shit is like you put them in a position that suddenly they're like, oh, that feels sore and it's tough. Just because it's fucking hard, because they've never done it before.
Right.
What is this, dude? Oh, God. These poor people.
You put yourself in any position that you've never done before.
It's going to be difficult. Yeah, what is going on, dude? Oh, God. What is that? Like, when do you use... How is this functional? When in life are you doing that? What things are like? How have they come to the conclusions on any of this? Like, they just pissed about in the gym and made this. Like, yeah. When are they like, okay, if I do this and this and this is going to help this and this? Like, where's the fucking like?
The thing is, people buy into it.
Yeah, because it's different.
Because it's different and it's something to talk about.
Oh, it's fucking clowns, man. Honestly, clowns, absolute clowns. I don't want to watch it anymore.
The thing
I'm angry now.
You can guarantee is, let's take some of the most well-known functional fitness athletes, and this is probably a little bit more my world, like the whole hybrid athlete thing.
Okay, yeah.
Guys like Ryan Atkins, you've got Matt Fraser, we've talked about, Rich Froning, you've got guys like Hunter McIntyre, so guys that do really well in high rocks events and things like that.
Yeah.
They're not doing that.
No.
Okay.
They're doing their fucking sport.
They're training what they need to do. You've got Hunter McIntyre, who is high rocks world champion. He's a big guy. He's like, I don't know, he's easily over 100 kilos, but he's out there running to get fast because high rocks of those running. He's also lifting real basic lifts to get strong.
Yeah,
that's it. He's not doing anything. There's no magic bullet here. He's just doing the basics. You've got guys like Ryan Atkins, who's the best obstacle course racer there's literally ever been, and he's an ultra runner. So what's he doing? He's out there running, and he's doing a lot of running, and he's getting good. He's getting strong in an overhead position,
right?
Because
you can't get around the fact that strength is fucking specific. You get good at what you fucking do.
And then you've got guys like Rich Froning and Matt Fraser, who just consistently day in lift heavy. It's just
grind out their training. Yeah, more than anything else.
And
The sprinting is king thing makes no sense to me. That goes back to like, when we were primal, we were sprinting through the fucking Amazon chasing fucking this, that. So they're like, fuck, we're not fucking primitive people anymore.
Sprinting isn't king.
Because you got to run away from someone, you're getting mugged in the middle of fucking London or whatever.
Which might lead on to a cool story.
Okay, all right.
But I do a lot of overspeed work. So let's say I'm going to train for a 5K. Or let's say I'm going to train for any distance, 5K, 10K, 21K, whatever it might be. I get uncomfortable in my training and I'll do like 1K intervals, say, at faster than race pace. And I do this maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. And the point of that is that I just want to get to a point where I'm uncomfortable at pace and I'm starting to really build lactate up in my body and I'm getting used to that sensation of doing it. Okay, and I might build those up. What I'm not doing is sprinting for like 10 seconds because that has no impact on, like a 10-second sprint has no impact on my 5K time.
Right.
Doing multiple reps of 1K, let's say 30 seconds rest in between, that's going to have a major impact on my 5K time because I'm not going all out. I'm just running at my race pace or slightly beyond it because I'm getting a little 30-second breather. And of course, when you put that together for a 5K, you're going to run slightly slower, but you can sustain it over 5K.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not doing this day in, day out because obviously the recovery and the breakdown from those kind of sessions is quite big. You carry the fatigue into your next session. But the whole point there is that if I just train for any race, 5K, 10K, half marathon, by sprinting, I'm getting nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's as simple as that. If I was a sprinter, then I'm going to train to the test.
Yeah.
Which is what all of these other functional athletes do.
I just want to know that, like, if we all deadlifted, we'd all run like Usain Bolt. No one who is saying that. That's such a ridiculous thing to say. Like that's the argument for deadlift.
Simply can't because,
to be honest, I wouldn't give Usain Bolt deadlifts. I wouldn't do it because it doesn't serve a function. It doesn't serve a function for his sprinting, at least in my opinion.
No,
like it would. He's better off doing probably plyometric based work and then just general strength training and fucking sprinting.
Yeah, like
running really fast.
I've said this so many times. You train to the test.
Like he's only got to run for like less than 10 seconds. He has to be really, really, really good for unless he's doing a 200 meters a little bit longer. He just has to be really good for such a short period of time.
Yeah,
like it's just I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it.
And again, I think the buy-in point there is because let's be fair, like people are going to instantly. If you put me in yoga class right now, I'm going to struggle.
I'd be shit. Yeah, awful. But put me in it for 6 months.
Yeah,
I'll be all right.
It's changed.
Yeah.
So those people, that first session, going to that seminar or that class or whatever it is, they're instantly going to feel something because they're put into this abstract position they've never been in. That's how it works. They're out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And there's this and then it'll be like, the next day is, I was really sore. I could really feel where I was working.
Yeah.
Well,
of course you never fucking done it before.
If I didn't squat for 6 weeks and then I went back and squatted, I'd be like,
yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. Yeah. And it's just, I hate the word functional. It's such a buzzword. Like it doesn't make any sense. And it's perfect like marketing tool.
Oh yeah.
But no one even really knows what they mean by it. Like, this exercise is great because it's functional, but like it's only functional if it serves a function. Right? So it's like what function does that serve?
So you get a lot of guys like, I don't do bicep curls because they're not a functional movement. It's like, but
they're strengthening your elbows.
It's really functional in that motion while you're lifting dumbbell.
When you lift something with your arms in real life. That's the things that you like.
It's functional.
Yeah, when you sit down and stand back up, that's a squat, mate. You know what I mean? Like
these can all be like broken down.
If you push yourself up off the ground, that's a push up. That's benching. That's what you're.
Yeah.
When you've got to push move a desk across the side of the room or pull it towards you, you're using your back. That's functional.
Yeah.
Like this is my approach with I'm very old school. Basic is best with every client that I
keep it simple. Everything.
Fucking keep it simple. Like I do 5-6 exercises. Like give the same shit to more or less everyone. It takes me honestly. Some people probably wouldn't like it, but it honestly takes me about 15 minutes to write a program.
So my training at the moment is I'm doing strength 3 times a week. Just actual lifting. Forget metcons or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And each of those sessions takes about 30 minutes, so not that long.
Yeah.
5 exercises in each one, and basically there's 2 sessions, and I alternate them. 1 week I do one twice and one once, and then
the other way.
yeah, we could and it's essentially I'm probably going to get this slightly wrong: overhead press, chin ups, deadlifts, triceps, and then a shoulder finisher of some type. Then on the second day, it's bench, bent over rows, but with barbell, squat, and then biceps.
Right.
And probably an ab finish of some type. That's it. I'm just really, really simple.
Yeah.
I'm just alternating between the two. And for me, that's all I need. That those are all movements that keep me strong. Those are all movements that I can use for. I can adjust the rep range to fit what I want to do. If I'm strong, or if I'm trying to develop a bit of size, or whatever it might be, it's really easy to play with, and it's just a really, really simple little cycle that will get me through. It means that I'm not going to get injured because I've got a race coming up. I'm not doing so much Olympic lifting because obviously the chance of injury is a lot bigger. It allows me to free up a little bit more time in the gym, so I can do those kind of metcons where they'd be sort of 2 10-minute metcons or 1 30-minute metcon or whatever it might be.
Short and sweet.
But just bash them out. And I don't know, is people just overcomplicate things. They really, really do. It's like, I see so many people where they're like, I've got to do this movement for my shoulders and I need to do this and I need to hit them at this angle. And it's like, well, the one thing you haven't done yet is develop any muscle there. Yet you're already talking about these little icing exercises.
I mean, I think most of my clients anyways, generally most people are like, they haven't either had an extensive amount of gym history. So I am sticking them in basic as best approach. It would be a little bit different if I had someone come in who was like already 5 years experience in lifting and was looking to add a little bit of edge to the training and perhaps build on weaknesses. Then the training I'd have to be more specific and I'd have to think about it probably like a lot more, and I'd put more work into their programming. But for most people, honestly, it takes me 15, 20 minutes to write that program because it's just like, well, I know I'm going to give everyone a squat. I'll give everyone a push up. I'll give everyone pull up. Give everyone, most people, a hinge. And like some arm work, some shoulder work. Okay, I'm done. Like what's complicated about this? I was talking to someone the other day, one of my clients actually, and he was saying that someone had said to him before, like, because he's worked with PTs in the past, and one of the PTs that he works with, like professionally, they said that like, I really pride myself in the fact that all of my clients haven't done the same workout 2 weeks in a row and all the time in training room. That's mental.
No. What? You have to have repeat
consistency.
And there's if you want to see any kind of progression, it has to be
how you to get better at like squatting if you don't squat every week for a period of time. I just one of my greatest achievements was recently with a client, a 63-year-old lady. I started at trap bar deadlifting, right?
Yeah.
Most people think that would be fucking mental. No. It's not. I've got another lady who's 61 who's barbell back squatting right now.
Brilliant.
She's 63. We started her 7 months ago with 45 kilos and she hit a 1RM of 100 kilos the other day.
Amazing.
63 years old.
That is fantastic.
100 kilo pull off the floor. She was so happy. I was fucking so glad.
Brilliant.
I was like, I said to her, I was like, you do not know how many people you just proved wrong with.
Yeah.
Like, it's so impressive to be her age and lifting 100 fucking kilos off the floor. But we wouldn't have got there if we hadn't done it every week for 7 months. How would we have ever got there if we were changing that up every single week? It doesn't work like that. To learn a pattern and get strong at something, you need to do it for a long period.
You do it over.
We've swapped other things out, like small specifics, like every 8-10 weeks generally, like I'll always have an exercise for the upper back or like be a lat exercise or something. I'll change that up every 8 to 10 weeks just to mix up something new. And if we hit a plateau with something, generally I'll change it up. Like if I feel like we're not really making progress anymore, okay, we'll do something else for now. We'll do a different pushing exercise. We've been doing these leg exercises for a while. Let's do something else for a bit. Like, for example, like, okay, I want to work the glutes or the hips in a certain position. Okay, we can do that in a shortened position or a lengthened position. We haven't really done shortened for a while, so maybe we'll do bridges for a bit. We've been doing RDL, so that's working glutes lengthened. Okay, we'll do a single leg press because it's doing the same thing, but it's just a slightly different exercise. Yeah, that's completely fine, but I always try and base things around core lifts initially. Squats and stuff is never going to go away. No. That'll never change.
I never, ever have any program that doesn't have 4 key exercises in it. And that is really, really simple. Pull-ups, squat, deadlift, bench press. Yeah, because those are measurable. Pull-ups, just because I genuinely believe they are the best exercises.
I don't train it, but that's the other one. I don't really, it's not a weakness of mine, so I don't.
However, they're not at all a weakness of mine, but I use them religiously because of obstacle course racing, and just be in that hand position overhead.
I get gains from climbing. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I test my rep PR every now and again, and it hasn't changed in a year, and I haven't done them. So it's like I'm not losing any. I don't feel like I've lost any.
And then sticking with those big three, it's like those are the ones that everyone always wants to work against. These are the three that people want to PR, and nobody's going, I PR'd my bicep curl today. Yeah. It's always their bench press or their squat. It's generally bench press.
I do hear that from some people, I'm not going to lie.
Really? Wow. I don't know I've ever heard that.
It's young people.
Yeah. I've PR'd my tricep push down.
Yeah. No, it's mainly young people. But yeah.
I don't know, but those are the ones. And of course, I'm not going to get a bench press PR unless I work bench press.
I will test one next week.
And that, I'm confident.
Number squat. Yeah, I've got to try 80 on bench, which I've never done before. So that should be great.
So I think that leads quite on to something that I seen flying around. Yeah, get a good spotter.
Yeah.
And that leads on quite nicely to something that I've seen flying around quite a bit recently. And it's shown that to be in the top 5% strong people, you should be able to do the three following things. And I don't know if I agree with this.
Is it actually true, though? Like, is it actually statistically true?
No, I think it's just what's doing the irons at the moment. Okay. Somebody's throwing.
Because I've heard that before. Like, it's an old kind of thing. Like, if you can do this.
Well, the standard I've heard is actually different. So the standard that's going around at the moment is you could do 2 times deadlift,
1.5 squat, body weight.
No, body weight squat and a body weight bench. It's going around at the moment.
I would thought it was
now. I've always
half.
Yeah. Now I've always heard 1.5 squat, and to me, I kind of having a look back historically. I always thought those numbers were like real entry-level powerlifting numbers. It's like a junior powerlifter should be able to lift those to those records. Now, there's two sides to this. The average person going to the gym doesn't need to be able to do any of these things. Yeah, but
so fun though.
No, like it's as simple as that. Yeah. If you want to get strong and you want to get big, whatever it is that you want to do in the gym, whatever your goal is, then these numbers might or might not mean something to you. I don't know. But like I say, the average person going to the gym, they're going to have their own milestones and their own benchmarks, and they don't care whether they squat 1.5 times their own body weight or 1 time their own body weight, or whatever it might be. But I thought it was quite interesting that, the standard that I've always believed in was 1.5 times body weight squat, and that suddenly is like a body weight squat. Now, I think most guys that do barbell squats can quite comfortably squat their own body weight. That
I've never done 1.5 before. Bench, I've done that fine. Deadlift, I've done it with a trap bar, not conventional.
Mm-hmm.
Did 2.5 times on a trap bar, but I've never done it conventional. I don't train conventional, but I deadlift, I need squat and bench at the moment.
I can hit all of those numbers comfortably. Out of all 3 of those exercises, my deadlift is my strongest.
Okay.
I just love deadlift. I don't know why. It's just some people love squatting. I just love it. And I deadlift with bar as well. Folks do sumo, do conventional.
Correct. Yeah.
And I just think it's a great exercise. It's just I'm good at repping it as well. Like I could comfortably rep out 4 to 5 at double body weight. Not every session.
Yeah.
But it's something that I could do comfortably on a good day. Bench pressing my own weight, I don't see that as a problem.
No.
It is difficult. A lot of people are going to struggle to hit their own body weight, especially some of the smaller guys. But I think once you've hit it once, it's quite easy.
Yeah.
That just becomes part of your everyday session. I think for a lot of guys as well, squatting 1.5 times your own body weight is potentially quite difficult. I think squatting your own body weight is actually quite easy for most people once they get good at squatting. But I think progressing it to 1.5 times, again, it's a lift that I'm comfortable with. But I think a lot of people, I think when I actually first did it, it took me quite a while to get to that point.
Yeah, I'm kind of heading in that direction now, because I've only just started squatting and benching again for the past 6 or 7 weeks. And I don't think I'm actually going to take them out again ever, to be honest, because they feel really good for me right now. So I'm trying to work towards that. I'd love, having 80 on bench, I'd actually be very happy with that for where I'm at. I'm weigh 67 keys right now, so
that's a great lift. Yeah,
and I'd love to get 100 on a squat, because I've never done that before either. I took just such a long time off from doing anything like that when I was just doing a lot of other shit.
I've just done a really, really nice progressing
Like
my
your
squats. Because we say you're 67, so I'm a bit heavy on a 74 at the moment.
Yeah.
So I've done the way I'm working at the moment is I'm kind of following the 5 exercises each session that I've just mentioned, but I'm kind of doing a bit of a sort of power build. And what I'm doing is 5, 5, 5. So 3 sets of 5 per exercise.
Yeah.
And then on my last rep, and for those 3, I'm going up in weight each time.
Right.
So I'm going to start on a weight that feels comfortable, and so maybe a weight that I could get 8 or 9 out with, but then increase the weights and then increase it till it's a true 5 reps, if that makes sense. Might have struggled to get the 6th one, or it would have been a bad 6th. And then what I'm doing is dropping the weight and repping it out. Yeah. And by proper rep it out, like 10, 15 reps, really kind of getting a big movement there. But I found on squat, especially, the weight that previously might have felt quite uncomfortable, so let's say 100 kilos, I can quite comfortably now rep that out for like 4 or 5. And that progression has come along really, really quickly because of just having now like step back and then just really busting them out when my legs are already fatigued from going heavy. And again, I appreciate this probably doesn't work for everybody. And like I say, it's more of a kind of power build because I've said plenty of times I'm not a bodybuilder. So looking for that. And I'm looking for exercises where I can work under fatigue. But again, it's like once you kind of unlock like that 100 kilos, for example, you've done it.
Yeah.
That's it. You'll unlock it every single time.
Yeah, I think the same with that one. That to me is the best I've ever had. That is muscle ups.
Yeah.
Once you get it,
it
never goes away.
No,
never goes away.
No, funnily enough,
I have no trouble ever like feeling comfortable just going with any bar, any line.
I used to muscle up quite a bit, and then I stopped for ages because there wasn't. I don't actually have any.
No, I don't want to train them.
I thought maybe I'd need to like muscle up in obstacle. Never need to do it. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Sometimes it does come up in climbing occasionally because sometimes you have to mantle.
Yeah.
So it does kind of come up on occasion. Like there's a few boulders where it's like, oh shit, this is a muscle up boulder. Like actually having the strength,
being able to transfer
and go down actually.
And I guess as well, when climbing, you're keeping your hands quite close to you.
Quite close. Yeah. A lot of the time it can be. It just sometimes depends on the boulder, but yeah.
And then about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was just like, I'm going to try and muscle up because I literally haven't done one for ages. So the first thing I did was just like doing like a real high explosive pull up. And it's like, no problem on getting the bar to almost my waist. And then it's just turning at the top. Yeah. It's like, you're right. It's one of those that stays there.
For me, it's a gauge just to make sure like my power is still there. I've still got the power. Like, because that's always the one thing. That's why I don't train pull-ups or anything like that, because I know for me in climbing, it's the one thing that just doesn't go away.
Yeah. I think going back to like those statistics and those numbers that people throw around there, it's like, I don't hold much value in those kind of things because strength is very, very
kind of arbitrary.
There's like, there's another statistic that came up the other day, which kind of made me chuckle. And it was like, more people have conquered Everest than have run a 4-minute mile.
Right.
And it is like, I had this kind of moment of like, it's that accurate. And it's like, well, yeah, of course it is, because you can just throw money at getting to the top of Everest.
Pay a few Sherpas and you'll get
exactly.
Pay for a 4-minute mile.
No, 100%.
Not that obviously climbing Everest is still tough, but it's like, it's still very hard. People die out there, but like...
Very much so, yeah. I'm not aware of people dying before that.
Probably is someone.
Probably has to.
People die in the London Marathon.
Yeah, they do. But it's like these statistics don't mean anything, because if the numbers are skewed in some way, like you're in the top 5% of like the population if you can do these things, it's like but how skewed is that number? Because what percent of the population lift? What percent of the population then lift weights, as in like the 3 big lifts? Then what percent of those actually care, and so on. Right. And suddenly that 5% means nothing. And if you walked inside the average gym like ours, I'm going to argue that more than 5% of people could probably hit those targets, as in the people that are lifting those lifts.
Yeah. Maybe not the oldies. Don't know, I think it's surprising.
Just the guys that hang around in the weight room.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of that.
A lot of that tech is very fucking questionable.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of not pretty ones.
no, for sure. Right. I think that's a nice conclusion on that one. So our conclusions for that are make your own numbers important to you, I guess.
Yeah, I think all of this is
It's whatever's important
I
to you.
see.
Like, I know a lot of people like, I think 100K, like benching 2 plates is a big one.
yeah.
Like if you can bench 2 plates, which I
I
don't
think like anything like
but like
100K because it's such a big round number.
that's why with the client I had like 100K, like that sound like hitting triple digits on anything sounds good.
People just it's a number to get hung up on,
Yeah.
and I
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
like there's it's just I think it's just the way our brains work.
Yeah.
Like 100, it's a big number.
Yeah.
As a kid, it was like I can count to 100. Yeah. And that kind of thing. And I think it just translates over as
God forbid ever weighing that much.
yeah. There's times when I don't want to hit that number.
100 kilos body weight on my frame. Imagine me with an extra 33 kilos.
It's the same with me. Yeah, like the best part of 30 kilos on me. I couldn't even
Imagine what I'm like. What crisis in my life I end up gaining.
there's no world where I want to gain 30 kilos, whether it was fat or muscle. Like, I simply
Me with 33 kilos of muscle would look ridiculous. I'd have to steer up my fucking head off to be. There's no way I could put on 33 kilos naturally on my frame. I'm only 5'10". Like you'd have to be like, so like James in the gym. He's 6'4" and he's 102,
there you go.
and like, but he's
Considerably bigger.
yeah, he's built like a brick shit house. You know, like he's
Yeah.
getting barely any fat on him either. It's just like So like that's the kind of standard that I'd have to be, have to be at for sure. Like
I mean, the thing is, you'd look, or either of us would look, because probably about the same height, we would
ridiculous.
mental.
It's ridiculous. I mean that you'd have to have a considerable amount of fat as well. I don't think it's even possible, even with gear, for me to put on 33 kilos worth of muscle. I think my genetic potential is not such an example.
Our 2024 challenge is
33 kilos of body weight. Or the next podcast will just be
so unhealthy.
just fucking sculpting. Oh my god, I did. Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it on. I'll leave it on that.
Great time to end it.
Right. We'll see you in the next episode. Brilliant.